forming new habits, and changing your life. So here's the thing. Making the conscious decision to want to change your life sounds like a very daunting task. It sounds like such a big undertaking, and it can feel very overwhelming. But here's the thing to focus on. Here's the thing I want you to focus on. All you have to do to start is make one little change. Just take one little step in the right direction and know and trust that that one little step is going to compound into something so much greater. Taking that one little step is like planting the seed in the soil. It's starting off as a little seed, and that could seem so insignificant. But as time goes on, and you keep watering it, and you keep tending to it, the bigger it grows. And personal development is the exact same way. There are so many things that you can do. There are so many tools and outlets available to you. There is so much that you can learn. But if that seems overwhelming, and that's the thought that's stopping you from even starting, just find that one little thing that you can add into your life, into your routine, into your day, that's going to make a positive difference, and just start with that one little thing. I promise if you approach it in that way, it's a lot less overwhelming. And you don't even have to choose a huge step or thing to start with. It's not like that first thing that you choose to do has to be a completely new habit or practice that you've never done before. It doesn't have to be a big overwhelming thing. It could just be as simple as taking 5 seconds at the beginning of your morning to do something that will set you up to have a more positive day. It could be starting your morning by getting up, going to the bathroom, and looking at yourself in the mirror and simply smiling at yourself. Or you can look at yourself in the mirror, look into your own eyes and your reflection and say, I'm going to have a great day today, or I love myself. Anything, any positive thing that you can say to yourself, you can just start with something like that. Something that takes you 2 to 3 seconds. 2 to 3 seconds out of your day to start creating positive change. Maybe it's that you decide that every day you're going to drink an extra glass of water to work on your hydration. Maybe that's the simple step that you take. Maybe it's having a notebook, and at the end of your day, you can just write down one thing that you are thankful for and grateful for, or write down something good that happened that day. Maybe it's taking 2 to 3 minutes out of your day to listen to your favorite song that boosts your mood and makes you feel happy. Whatever action you want to do, just do it. Give it a try. It's just so important to realize that there is no such thing as a wrong step. When you're trying to create positive change in your life, there's no such thing as a misstep. There's no such thing as doing it wrong. All it takes is the intention and doing some sort of action, no matter how small it is, because that part doesn't matter. Make an intention, perform an action that supports that intention. That's really as simple as it gets to be. And honestly, the more simple you can keep things, the better, because simplicity is more attainable. If you just start with that one small action, you're less likely to get overwhelmed and you're less likely to quit. So keeping it simple is more attainable. And also, keeping it simple is more likely to lead to success, because the one thing that trips up so many of us is trying to do too much at once, trying to change too much at once, falling into a place of overwhelm because you're trying to change too many things at once. A good example of this is sometimes at the beginning of a new year, with all that messaging of new year, new me, making resolutions, people think as soon as January 1st comes that they're going to completely change a huge thing in their life, like completely revamp their diet and eating habits, or they say they're going to work out every day when they've never worked out a day in their life. But if you overload yourself with too many things at once, you are going to overwhelm yourself and you are going to burn yourself out, and you're going to end up stopping before you even really get started. So for anybody who feels that inkling in their heart, that desire to create positive change in their life, I've been there before, and my advice to you is to start small and keep it simple. Because if that's the mindset you approach this new life change with, you're more likely to sustain it long term. You're more likely to actually create a real life change, to keep going with it, to keep at it, and to make it into a habit after doing it so many times. And once something becomes a habit, you are golden. Once you develop a positive habit and sustain it, it develops into a practice. You make something into a practice by doing it enough times, and once it's a practice, it's going to be that much harder to break that new positive habit because you've ingrained it into your brain. You've done it enough times. It only takes 21 days to form a new habit. So once you reach that 21 days of doing that thing, whatever that positive thing is that you decided to do, you are going to be so much more likely to keep that thing going for the long term. And the even greater thing about that is that once you prove to yourself that you can implement and maintain and create a positive habit with just one little action, one time, that will give you enough confidence to believe in yourself, to know that you can do it. And you know that you can do it again with something else, with a new habit, with a new action. Self-trust and self-belief comes from a place of proving to ourselves that we can do something. So the more that you can decide to give yourself these little challenges of implementing a new habit, doing something new for yourself, doing something good for yourself, the more you can commit to doing these little micro habits and doing them regularly and forming them into lifelong habits, the easier it's going to be to just keep that train going. Maybe the first habit that you develop is to tell yourself in the mirror that you're going to have a good day. Let's say that's the thing that you chose. You go through 21 days of doing it. You feel so confident that it's something that's so easy that you have implemented into your routine and you can keep it going. Then you think of a new thing that you can add to it and add another layer onto it with a new habit. And over time, you'll find that creating all of these little positive micro habits will come together. And before you know it, you will have a positive mindset routine of your own positive mindset practice that you have formed over time. And that gets to be something so beautiful, and that gets to be something so sacred. That gets to be something that is the primary driver of your day and your life. Once you get to a place where you are in the driver's seat of knowing that you have a routine, a set of habits that you do every day that get to help you determine how your day is going to turn out and how you're going to feel every day, that's personal development. That's personal empowerment, my friends. And that is one of the best feelings. Because we live so much of our life from a young age being conditioned to feel like we don't have any control over the way we feel, over the things that happen to us and how we react to them. When the reality is, we can decide to learn that there is a different way of life. There is a different way we can think. There is a different type of belief system that we can adapt. That we get to take our power back. That we get to perform the actions and the habits that contribute to the way that we get to feel each and every day. And the more you realize that, the better your days become, and the better your life gets. You will notice that even if something unfortunate or undesirable happens in your day, you're going to be able to bounce back from it so much quicker because you have cultivated the mindset that you can turn things around, that you are resilient, that you have programmed your mind to be a more positive place so that when anything tries to interrupt that or disturb your peace, you know how to bring yourself right back. And I promise you that choosing the path of personal empowerment, choosing the positive path is such an amazing thing, and it's one of the most life-enriching things. It's one of the most life-enriching choices that you can ever make for yourself. So believe in yourself. Start small and start simple. And allow that little seed that you plant to grow over time and blossom into a beautiful flower that everyone can see standing proudly, that everyone can feel the positive energy from. And just by choosing you, choosing to form those new habits and create a more positive life for yourself, you can not only enrich your life, but you can be that source of positivity and inspiration for others.